Wonderful. So we can start. I would say, can we just introduce yourself very briefly?
Of course. Well, my name is Viktor, GM everybody. I'm a global community lead at Ton Society. I'm part of the core marketing team at Ton. Ton stands for the Open Network, and it's deeply integrated in the ecosystem of Telegram that has nearly 1 billion monthly active users, which is massive. So you've heard a lot about the Telegram mini apps and their virality. We're going to discuss that a little bit today with my friend Michael. So it's a big pleasure being here in Italy, Naples, and thank you for having me, guys.
Hi guys, this is Michele from Bybit. Actually, I'm working as a business developer. I think that you already know us as an exchange. We are right now, I think, the top 2 exchange in the world. Top-notch liquidity on both markets, on spot and derivatives. We are also offering options, or just past 40 million users. And yeah, I think that someone here on the crowd should have a Bybit account. So yeah, I think that you know us. Thank you so much for having us here, guys.
Okay, thank you, Miki. Thank you, Viktor, for this introduction. And let's break down TAPTAP projects, right? Like this really hot narrative in 2024. What they are, how they work.
This is a great question. So it all started with the Notcoin, the first viral example of the Telegram mini app. At the time of launch, they achieved 35 million users. And the thing here is why does that happen is the way they utilize certain mechanics. We call them viral mechanics. And basically leveraging an invite feature and incentives, etc. So 96% of all the Notcoin users been actually invited and referred by their friends. Zero marketing expenses, zero marketing budget, all completely organic growth. And then a lot of gaming studios saw it and were like, holy shit, we actually need to come in and start building our own. Because many of them has experience in developing the mini apps. And the response from the community was very positive as well, because that's one of the most fair ways to distribute at scale the rewards for people for participating. And yeah, right now we have a lot of great examples like Gamey with 80 million users, Hamster Combat with like 300 million users, Catizen with 35 million plus million users. Once again, it's insane. And it's not stopping. Like there is not just one application that got this viral amount of users and this virality to itself, but there is tons of them. Eventually going to be hundreds of them. Yeah. And we've seen Notcoin shoot, you know, with their market cap to the top 100 coins. Then Dogs launched, also been performing very well. At time of launch, right now I think there is more than 17 million people that claim their tokens, like to the exchanges, on-chain. This is the largest meme coin, one of the largest in terms of the amount of holders
so
as well.
You can see that this is like a kind of vehicle to take people to crypto, right? It's a kind of like vehicle via Telegram.
For them, it's the first time exploring crypto. Like, I've put up several polls, and more than 40% people saying it's our first crypto experience. So for them, it's an onboarding process because they've been guided through those Telegram mini apps, how to create a wallet, how to create an exchange, how to do KYC, how to basically get those rewards, how to sell them, how to stake them, and all different variations. So going into the future, once they become very accustomed into using the DeFi, they will start exploring more and more of the ecosystem, and they will have a little bit of the liquidity to get started as well, which is fascinating thing. Like imagine, people never touch crypto. Here they got $100 and they can go and swap it on whatever meme coin on Ton and try to multiply it out if they'd like so. It's incredible, and that's never been possible at this scale with tens of millions of people.
Great. So maybe one question for Michele. If we zoom out a little bit from TAPTAP project and we look more at the pay-to-earn projects, where does this trend start and how do you think that this is evolving?
So actually, you know, we were mentioning yesterday, just discussing with Viktor, how all this thing is working and basically how these projects are engaging the public for the crypto audience. And basically, back in the days, the projects was having features like, for example, I can recall back in the days CoinList, where basically we were going there just to, I don't know, do some social task and hope to win some rewards. Then, of course, we had Galaxy, we have Ziali, we had all the Web3 engagement platforms. They came out to start farming airdrops and stuff like that. Then at one point, the organic growth of this cycle was just landing on mini apps on Telegram, because actually on Telegram you already have the user base. That is one of the things that the projects are looking for, and you can engage them with a proper platform that is created by your own. So actually it's the best way possible to bring the users, to activate them and to take them engaged, distributing some value in their user journey. We started this wave actually as an exchange. We saw the incredible power of dogs during the listing. Even our server at one point was shutting down because we had too many people.
Bro, it broke Binance, OKX, and Bybit.
Yeah, exactly. They broke Binance, they broke Bybit, they broke OKX. So
Too many users.
Yeah,
Bro,
exactly.
like, the infrastructure isn't ready for what's coming.
But that's the rule of
you.
Telegram here, right? That's why Telegram is really important for
and
this user base.
And I think that we still have to see the power of Hamster CEO. So,
Holy shit, 300 million users. I mean, I don't completely understand how the infrastructure will handle it, but it's going to be a real challenge for a bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so actually it's a way that, of course, it started this year, I want to say, and I think that it's something that is growing, and more projects will adopt these features themselves, so they are not going to just use another protocol as they were doing back in the days with Calci or Ziali, but they are going to integrate their own mini app.
It's a new marketing strategy.
Exactly, and it's really cheap, because you can leverage on the referrals, you can leverage on your community, and so you can really have a project driven by the community, as Hamster is, or as Bloom is, or Dogs, for example, or even Catizen and all these kind of projects.
Yeah, like be careful not making them mad, because they, it's important to also listen to your community at this scale, because if you piss off millions of people, they'll know and the world will know. It's like that you made them angry. So you see, there's a backside to it as well. You have to be careful with the way you communicate, the things you put out. You have to be mindful about the community and their sentiment.
Yeah. So after that we addressed it, and I think that it's kind of clear the play-to-earn role in these new marketing strategies and user adoption and user acquisition from all these brands. I would like, I think also the attendees here, I would like more to understand what is the role of Ton and of Telegram in this new wave. Maybe a question for you, Viktor.
Well, there is not necessarily the rules. It's up to the people to create a great product people want to use. And if they succeed, as Bloom said at one of the panels, if you created the mini app and you have less than 1 million users, you are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And this is true. After interviewing majority of those big projects like Catizen, Hamster Combat, TapSwap, etc., the list goes on and on, they all said it's not the challenge to create the game, it's the challenge to distribute the game usually. Achieving 1 million users in the Web 2 is complicated. You spend a bunch of capital, where in the Web 3 on Telegram with Ton is just as easy as it only could get.
Yeah.
So our standpoint is we're trying to support the projects that do good and that actually growing and about to release and benefit the community at scale. It is also important that we are supporting all kinds of projects in our ecosystem. We have different venture funds taking care of that, like Ton Ventures, TonX, like a couple examples that are native within Ton ecosystem, been doing that for quite a while. And I'm not working for the VCs, but I know they're constantly on the lookout for the next project that can make it the big success as well in the ecosystem. And there is a lot of support we provide in terms of guidance, etc. And we're not supporting just play to earn, just TAPTAP. We're supporting DeFi, we're supporting bridges, we're supporting swaps and wallets. So the ecosystem is growing at scale. We're trying to make it right for every single part of it involved, not just for the tap to earn and mining games, but they are a great onboarding method once again. So it's also important to see some uniqueness to the projects, because every project that's done well in terms of growth, they've done something in their own unique way. And this is one of the things that VCs within Ton ecosystem are also looking at. What Racer, for example, right now, from the Wattbird, the parent company of them is Gamey. People literally in the community asking to retain the game even after TGE because it's a cool playable game. So they don't really care just only for the airdrop. They care to play fun, cool games too.
Yeah.
And they asking for it. So I think there is need for more interesting playable games, and we're going to see a lot of them in the very near future.
Really exciting future we expect.
Yeah, interesting. And you mentioned a lot that you're supporting these projects, but I'm curious to hear on both sides how exactly you're supporting these projects, and also on the Bybit side, maybe on which basis you decide to list certain tokens or projects.
Okay, so maybe I just want to add one thing
Yeah.
of what you were discussing with Viktor, because I think that at the end of the day, it's also a win-win situation for Telegram too, because I think that with dogs, with hamster combat, even Telegram, like they have a user base that is growing and growing, and
Yeah.
new
Oh,
Telegram
yeah.
accounts
Yeah.
are
The
coming.
projection for Telegram growth
New users are
is
coming
insane.
just for play-to-earn games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why maybe the Telegram rule here is really important, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a win-win situation. You know, I saw that the numbers of Telegram are growing in countries that Telegram was not so popular. So it's definitely a win-win situation. For what regarding the exchanges, so yeah, in terms of listing, yeah, we are not disclosing our listing terms, of course. They are not public,
Yeah.
but I can tell you that one of our main focus is, of course, the numbers of the community, the engagement. We are running anti-bots to check if the project is legit, if they have a natural growth or an organic growth, or it's all botted, let's say.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we are doing our due diligence. Then I think that as an exchange, we have a crucial role with these kind of projects, because we know very well that a ton of users that are farming these apps are bots or are duplicated users. So we have done with dogs, for example, the claim of the airdrop directly on the exchange is a really good strategy for them, because they can check who is performing the KYC and who can actually claim the airdrop, avoiding duplicated users. And take into consideration of how much token allocation they are saving with this procedure. And so how many tokens they can put back in the market to do marketing activities, or just a barn, you know, to help the price of the token. So actually, we are really fundamental for the projects themselves.
So Bybit is bringing a kind of like diligence to
Exactly.
those projects.
Yeah,
right?
we are going to do the screening that they are not able to do on Telegram, you know, because of course they are going to be submerged by bots, you know, we all know that. But with us and with our collaboration, they can check and they can actually see which users are legit.
Amazing. And okay, so I think that's really clear in terms of like, you know, user acquisition. Now we would like to use maybe for new protocols or new startups that would like to use these new strategies as play-to-earn games. But maybe a question for you, Viktor. Let's dive more, actually, how do you build play-to-earn games, a mini app on Telegram? And generally speaking, what is your take about this gamification concept?
Yeah, well, it's not that complicated to build. I think for people, it's important to also understand that Telegram is not equals to Ton. Telegram is basically the interface for people to interact with Ton and Ton mini apps, which basically a browser hosted applications. And then it is adapted into the mini app and into the interface. So to develop one, there are several ways to go. There is even people that created, you know, like the WordPress for Telegram mini apps you could utilize, or you could utilize the frameworks that already been developed before in the open source, then adjust it to your needs. So it's like the referral mechanism, the leaderboard, and then you would need to develop basically just the game separately, and then boom, you have the mini app ready.
Yeah.
In terms of building, there is enough support and information being provided, including on our YouTube channel, where we educate people how to do that step by step.
The tutorial and
guidance.
guidelines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the documentation also is accessible in English and Mandarin currently. So that is one of the reasons why a lot of gaming studios in Asia right now are taking an opportunity to build. And from the conversation of Viktor with the Tencent, what we know is that there is more than 200 gaming studios right now in Asia pivoting into building on Telegram and Ton. And Pluto Studios, which is the publisher behind Catizan, is one of them. And Pluto Studios has more than 200 mini games ready to deploy. As of now, they don't even need to spend a bunch of time to develop. They already prepared them.
You have a ready template that you can implement
Exactly.
easily and build on top of that.
So the gaming studio is like, oh, well, we could just adapt our applications to this interface and just launch them. And we're going to see in the next 6 to 12 months, like thousands of apps being developed, and eventually going to become a matter of what do you want to play, which games you like, rather than just going for whatever is the most viral thing.
That's also the beauty of open source, right? Once you build a project, you can just fork it and build on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the open source materials are incredible, and you could utilize the framework of Notcoin, many others. It's accessible. It's on the web, so just go explore, and even you could spend just a couple hours and deploy your own mini app. Like I'm telling you, it's not that complicated. People think it's hard.
I
you
love
don't even
open
have to
source.
be developers. Like you will be able to handle it.
Yeah, should try. Yeah.
Yeah, then you have to find the right game, you know?
Yeah. Like
Maybe in
and
Italy
then,
something with football, you know?
and then
I
once they
didn't
do
see
something
like
viral, once they do
football
something
or
viral, I will cover that on my page as the breaking news, and then the
Yeah.
exchanges and VCs pay attention too. They're like, oh, okay, so that thing is going viral. The community sentiment is there. The things are falling in place. They're growing insanely, and then it's a breaking news, and I could cover that, and people start to pay even bigger attention.
I was discussing in Amsterdam last month with the community regarding that maybe another interesting point that, okay, we are thinking about play to earn as mini apps, but let's say even like a survey, you know, as an answering questionnaire. A lot of people needs data for survey, and companies needs really in terms of analytics to find the users, right? Imagine like to use mini apps in terms of like survey, that you build a survey on Telegram in terms of like with a gamification effect, with a kind of game like that, and how you can convert and engage more with users, because let's say that normal surveys are really boring, right? So if you build a kind of like gaming concept behind the survey, maybe it could be even like a new possibility.
Well, what I want to say, people utilizing right now the virality of those Telegram mini apps to build all the sorts of different products. And Bloom is a great example because they are basically building a DEX and meme pad. And this meme pad is, by the way, the real alpha. It's like, shout out to Bloom. Like, I know what they're doing. I know what they're preparing for the audience, for everyone involved. But if you got invites, if you've been farming Bloom doing daily check-ins, you're going to have a lot of opportunities into what they've been developing. So that's a great example how, you know, the boring type of applications can be beneficial to the masses and can still get this virality, even though they wouldn't necessarily be creating the product based onto the tap to earn game or play to earn game. It may be the start, the beginning, but then eventually they expand into having more and more products where, you know, we've already seen many examples. Also, the Bounty Bay, it's e-commerce inside of Telegram. So you could go and shop with the USDT on Ton and so on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can go and explore Bounty Bay.
Okay.
Great guys. And this is another way that you could utilize. And they also have viral mechanics where for the farming invites, you get just extra benefits, some discounts on some products, etc. So you see, there is the ways to utilize that into creating more of infrastructure.
Not just a game, it's a
exactly.
concept of
Like
mini app.
they don't have a game. What I'm saying, they're literally just the e-commerce
it's a
platform.
fast app concept.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, by the way, guys, please save all these alphas.
Yeah, you know,
It's
we're
sharing.
sharing a lot of alpha infos here.
Yeah, but that is indeed also the concept of token-based loyalty programs or anything that is happening around gamification in general. Because I was talking with Mojito a few weeks ago, and they're really implementing wallets in all kinds of e-commerces, and they would literally say that the moment you implement the gamification aspect, everyone just starts forgetting that there's actually a blockchain underneath, and that's where real adoption is coming. And that's the same happening with Telegram, once again, with the...
That's
But,
the point.
You know, at the end of the day, this is an example that I always do to friends of mine that are not friendly with blockchain or with the world of crypto. Like, okay, when you are sending an email, do you know which is the code behind the email?
Yeah,
You don't know that it's Google Cloud or whatever,
no
right?
Exactly.
You don't know the back end.
Of the lines of code that are behind an email, but the service is so user-friendly that you don't need to bother about the technology. This is the whole point of mass adoption. You know, when we are discussing about mass adoption, we are always looking for this.
Yes.
Mass adoption happening on Ton and Telegram. There's no other chain doing that. And if they could, they would be doing it.
Yeah, but actually, you know, that's, we have the confirms of this, because after that we saw the numbers of dogs, after that we saw what Bloom is building, after that we will see the power of the Amster CEO, we can actually say that a lot of Web 2 users have been brought to Web 3 because of this. And when you can really hide the blockchain and really don't let the user see it, well, you have built a really amazing product, and you know that you're going to crash the market. Then, of course, there is all the marketing part that have to take place. But
Yeah, well, you know, the onboarding process doesn't have to be complicated. I think the Web3 being made very complicated at start, where right now we're exploring the ways to make it more simple and accessible to the regular people. Like, as you say, they don't need to understand the underlying technology. They need to understand that they can get reward from playing a game by simply creating the wallet, step-by-step instruction, and then click claim, ta-da, you've got the reward. It's like, it doesn't have to be, oh, you need to go to this chain, copy this long-ass address, do that, and then understand what is ZK, crawl apps, and how they work. Like, you don't need to have this knowledge to be able to benefit from it. And it's right now showing the power.
We can say that play-to-earn games are helping the user adoption in blockchain.
A lot.
Yeah, and even like fixing the UI in that sense, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the main topics that we discussed in the recent years.
yeah, Definitely, definitely, because they are setting a standard, you know, and you cannot go below that. Because right now, at the end of the day, Victor also mentioned that 200 studios are developing mini apps. It will be
Speaking
really
of thousands of applications, like,
200
people have no
studios,
idea.
man.
Can you imagine
People
that?
My
know,
God.
like it's crazy.
I
Those
don't know
people
how many
already
projects
developed
we'll see in the next
application.
months, right? Like,
Yeah, and the thing is, they already create applications similar type for the WeChat and etc. You know, the application inside of China that people use.
Yeah.
It's the Telegram is basically already at this point the super app similar to the WeChat. It's only getting started, and amount of development happening is crazy. Like people
yeah.
not ready.
And
We-
even like I think that's the perfect timing because you know like now people they're kind of boring, right? With this TikTok phenomenon that like you know they just scroll and people really don't want lose time, right? They just want fast actions, 15
Yeah.
seconds and so on. All the process of connecting wallets and everything was a bit like too slow for them, even for the mass I'm talking about. So I think that's you know this play to earn implementation in the industry is even is going really good also for this concept of the velocity that you have in the process, right? It's really prompt. You can just go to Telegram, 1 second, you connect your wallet. You don't understand that you are connecting your wallet and you use a product on
and
chain.
you don't need to download anything as well.
Exactly. So this fast approach, I think that's another really crucial point of this adoption.
Another thing, you're not compromising your data because Telegram is
Exactly.
one of a highly secured messaging application to the fact that now the government's frustrated with how secure it is. You know,
Yeah.
there's been endless wars for years
That's
and
another
years.
point.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's the application that respects your privacy, not selling your data. It's becoming a super app, and it has the blockchain technology integrated on a deep level. This is nuts to just think it's possible already today. It's like, it's
Yeah.
crazy that we're living in this
Even in
world.
terms of like payment system, right?
Oh yeah.
You can send ton whatever from different
You can
TG
send
handles.
USDT on ton
Yeah.
with zero gas fees, like to anyone in the world. Yeah, they have to pass the basic KYC and everything, but what I'm saying is it's so accessible because for a lot of people don't have access to the banking system, and with zero commission, doing those transfers cross-board, a bunch of countries is crazy. And it's one of the largest USDTs deployed on any chain, and it's been the fastest growing ever up to date still.
Thanks to the users, of course.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's another like value proposition of the foundation in terms if you compare with other chains, right? We saw that the stable coins traction was really slow in terms of growth, while, as you can say, in ton was really fast.
But then I'm curious, how do other stakeholders, like for example from traditional finance and centralized finance in general, perceive these pay-to-earn projects? Because they're basically stealing audience from one side.
There is different ways. I think the best way to go is the collaborative approach between the financial institutions and those huge mini apps. Think of them as large businesses that has a massive user base that they could also help to provide the traffic with. And if you create the beneficial partnership with them, let's say like the campaigns with the centralized exchanges, right? This is the mutual benefit and partnerships as well. So the same way the financial institutions could do it. Like I cannot share with you just yet, but in the next couple of days we're going to have a big announcement of,
Nice.
you know, related to this topic of
Alpha.
one of the financial
Alpha.
institutions.
Guys,
Like just in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of this, I just want to add that we don't have to see the market as a continuous war between DEXs and CHEXs, because it's not like this. Like we know that CHEXs right now are still fundamental for the onboarding of new users in crypto, because right now, let's be honest, we are really more friendly than MetaMask. And of course, if you want to cash out your crypto,
MetaMask.
MetaMask is so ugly.
Yeah,
Rabbit
you know-
is way better, come on.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's using Rabbit Wallet. We know that. But yeah, it's just to talk about one of the standards, like the benchmarks. But yeah, checks are still fundamentals right now. And at the end of the day, checks are still the only solutions that can really guarantee an incredible user journey when you are trading, because let's be honest, you cannot still trade on chain. We have some experiments. We have, for example, Apex Protocol, that is something like our cousins, let's say, and they are doing something amazing, paying the transactions that just when you are depositing or when you are withdrawing your stables, and making an order book model. But we still know that the liquidity is not enough. We still know that the velocity of the protocol is not enough. So checks are still fundamental to guarantee a really proper trading experience. But look at what checks are doing. OKX with their Web3 wallet, us here with our Web3. We know that people want this kind of products. The thing is that we are going to implement them day by day, and we are going to collaborate with these protocols, because at the end of the day, the market is one and the liquidity is one. So yeah, let's not fight for this.
I think both are very, very important because centralized exchanges help to unload the chain also in a sense, since a lot of people choosing it as an option. And I see it, as a global infrastructure, as a one big thing, and CEXes and DEXes play both a very important role in that. And for a lot of people, they don't want to do KYC. Some can't because they're from the certain regions that you're not operating in, and they gotta tell you that, hey guys, and what I'm saying is it's okay if the people don't want. They should have an opportunity and free choice to stay completely anonymous if they wish so, or if they don't care and they're okay with KYC, if they're from the region that they could also utilize the centralized exchanges, let them do exactly that. And it's good to see that there is option provided for both. There is also people creating right now like the credit cards that could be backed by you having crypto on behind basically your credit card so you could spend. And then it doesn't really require you to do a lot of KYC. It's also the basic verification. So I think we're going to see more and more decentralized ways into spending your crypto, in particular TON and USDT on TON. I think it's going to be so massive, and more brands start to accept it as a payment. Like there is Travel.com, for example. It's a traveling agency, and you can pay in USDT or TON. Once again, for I think like several hundred different properties around the globe. You just rent them, and you don't need the fiat. You don't need to KYC. Basically, you could just go and explore this opportunity as well.
Amazing. So I think that we addressed really well the play-to-earn narrative. I would like to understand a bit here in this audience, how many people here use the play-to-earn apps on Telegram?
Well, it's quite a few.
Okay, that's
nice.
Quite a few, really nice. And for who never used them, Viktor, can you make a small guideline? Let's start from a customer journey aspect, right? How to start. So first, download Telegram, right? So,
well, the first one is that if someone that is called someone you know is writing you on private, asking for your private keys, please don't share.
Never answer to Telegram bots, please, guys.
Look, guys, I don't have time to
That's
be
the main
anyone at all.
Please
be safe with that. But no, if you just want to get started, it's very simple. First of all, you need a Telegram. And then in Telegram, you could actually search for @wallet, and that is the wallet native inside of the Telegram ecosystem. You could use that. It's very simple. It's going to explain to you step by step all the instruction. And then you can go to the App Center inside of Telegram, and you will see the list of a bunch of applications based on your interest. Like you want some racing game, you want tap to earn game, I don't know, you want an idle game like Catizen. There is even some MMORPGs that people are currently developing, and some already live too. So App Center are going to be verifying only applications that pass all the guidelines and has the latest versions of the SDK implemented. They're also going to grant them a blue check, making sure that this project is legit because it passed the certain checks. And it's actually done onto the end of Telegram rather than TON. So TON itself is just the network. Telegram is a massive, massive social media application, and it's two different teams, not necessarily directly correlated. So we follow different rules, different guidelines. We do different things. Even though we work closely in terms of development on certain things, it's completely separate businesses as well, in a sense. And TON as a blockchain is just the open network by the active community of developers for people, by people,
and
the technology of freedom.
A fun fact regarding that even if they are completely two separate teams, I saw that the revenues of Telegram last year, about 40% of revenues were coming from TON.
Yeah, because they implemented the ad revenue sharing program and several other things like anonymous numbers, etc., which has to do with Telegram. Once again, Telegram is utilizing TON. But TON itself is just the separate
technology. It's just
technology.
A separate network.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is maybe other social medias would want to implement TON as well. Maybe one day that would be the case. Would be fun to see that happening. But Pavel Durov said many times that for everything happening within Telegram, they will be relying solely on the open network, on some blockchain. So there is no need for other blockchains. There is no plans for any layer 2 from our side. Even though people developing layer 2, so it's like, let them try, let them do. But TON itself will become more and more scalable. So there is no real need for the layer 2 as of now. And it's going to be a very interesting journey also to see how is that going to play out. But yeah, there's no other blockchain will be implemented in Telegram.
Yeah, such an amazing future for this ecosystem, really. I can see that.
Nice. I would like to push you a little bit with the next question, because I I see that there's this gamification pattern recurring over and over, also like with meme coins in general and building communities around this. So can all of this really bring to a bull market? And what in general is your opinion, for what you can of course expose yourself, in how the crypto market as a whole is going towards?
Yeah, I think meme coins very important, and they are one of the major driver for the higher volume on chain. So within Ton ecosystem, there are several types of meme coins. Right now, there is, for example, dogs that have been launched through, the viral method of distribution. But that's like the one that started already right away at a bigger market cap. There's also a completely regular organic meme coins, such as Resistance Dog, Paper Plane, and all the resistance narrative. And they hugely took off after the public tour of arrest because the people were finally like, holy shit, there is the movement exists since 2000, what? It's it's the cultural thing, and the all community takeovers as well in a sense.
Yeah.
So there is no team, there is no risk in the team running away because they already did in the past. So it's very interesting to see how's that going to play in the long run. But we do have several meme pads. But what I think is going to really bring the bull run is going to be the Bloom meme pad because they have 60 million users at this point. And anyone with like just 0.2 ton, which would be like $1, maybe a $2, going to be able to deploy their own meme coin on chain. And we're speaking of insane amount of people that will give it a try. Also insane amount of people that using Bloom will be able to participate one way or another into getting those meme coins or maybe buying them if they wish so. I think that is going to be one thing that's going to bring a mass amount of attention and mass amount of volume because those people already use Bloom. They know they could trust it. They know it's a good platform.
Yeah, that's a really good point because people often think that bull market comes because liquidity is coming inside, right? But sometimes, and as you're saying, and I completely agree, is also the tools that you make to let this liquidity inside the market. Right?
There's one thing I want to say is like. We used to think, when it's liquidity coming. No, it's when the people are actually coming. Because if you think of, let's say, 10 million people, everyone has money. It may be complicated to understand, but everyone has a euro or 2 or maybe 10, and they spend it just on their needs. So it's a matter of them understanding that they could take those 10 euros and do something else with it rather than buying a baguette at the shop, let's say, right? Yeah. Everyone has money. And the matter of liquidity coming in is people understanding that there is value they can get from actually pouring a little bit of their liquidity.
Completely
and
agree.
That's eventually going to start happening more and more as we see more and more applications going viral, as more meme coins will be launched onto different meme paths. People will be like, okay, maybe I should give it a try too. And in crypto, it's been a problem for a long time that liquidity kind of been just circulating from one chain to another, to another, to another. Ton and Telegram bringing new people, new liquidity that never been exposed to crypto before. Exactly. That's what makes this ecosystem different and special.
So where is the importance of the tool here?
Yeah.
Amazing. What is your take, Miki, about that?
Yeah, actually, if you ask me if this can bring to a bull run, well, I don't know. I can tell you that they're going to bring retailers. But at the same time, I remember that in the last bull run, a really well-known KOL wrote a post on Twitter. Here we go.
Just random pick.
A really big KOL in America said, in the last bull run, hey, when Coinbase is the top up in the App Store, please close your position,
short
everything, because too much retailers are coming in the game. So, of course, they are going to bring a ton of new people that are into crypto, and I think that the attention, of course, will rise a lot on the industry. But in order to see a bull run from TAPTAP Games, well, I think that those are two different things.
Yeah.
So yeah, a huge amount of retailers are coming into the market, that's for sure. But I still think that the real bull run will come after 2025, or in the year 2025. And
for more a macro situation, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we know that the big volumes in crypto are moved by VIP traders or institutional traders. Okay, the retailers are making their own job, but it's like 10% of what is the total market. Yeah. So institutionals and VIPs are not farming TAPTAP the games, you know. So
they're investing.
But like if you think about like bull run as like growth in terms of liquidity, that's an interesting metric. But also maybe we can see a bull run in terms of users growth. That could depend more from the tools.
I can say there is both happening in Ton ecosystem because more and more venture capital investors stepping in. And they're asking questions like I've met many on the events from top tier VCs saying, hey, how do we look at the projects? Like where do we start? How do we know which ones we should go for? And I connected with them with the Ton Ventures, Tonex, so that they could actually go and expand from there. And I understand, because for them the ecosystem completely new. They don't know how to navigate it. Like, they don't know what makes successful media apps, so they need help in that too. But I can say there is a lot of VCs entering the scene. So the amount of liquidity that is coming into town is also growing. And it's growing from the fact of them providing the liquidity to help projects to launch, and then projects getting kind of insane valuations. And then everyone is in win. The community, the VCs, the Ton blockchain itself, the Telegram because of the traffic. So it's a win-win scenario for many entities involved, which is fascinating. I think the big bull run would happen after people have enough proof of concept. Like right now, we have several mini apps that only launched. Once we see like 10, 100 of them launched, then you're going to be like, holy shit, the people really see that and they will start going for it.
But that's the point, in my opinion, right? Like, once the liquidity is coming, you need the tools to grab this liquidity.
And they are right now being developed.
There, right? So yeah, we can see. Guys, I don't want to give any financial advice, but I think that you can long on Ton, right?
No,
no,
I think that
just
Ton
kidding,
is
just kidding.
a constant burn, even not the performance
Man,
that not made was crazy. Even after the listing, a 6x on price, like we saw that they are in a constant burn right now. So, and even the team is activating so many things, like the initiative that you are seeing behind us with our Web3 wallet, or even I was just thinking of what Ton did with us with our campaign for the Bybit card. The thing that we are accepting the token in order to use it as a cryptocurrencies in our Bybit card. So they are working a lot.
Yeah.
They're in a constant fucking burn.
I love it because often people in crypto industry, they say that there is no utility, right? But here we have utility, thanks to Telegram, thanks to those mini apps. So I think that's really changing the paradigm of crypto apps and, generally speaking, crypto networks. So really happy, guys, to have you. And let's go to our last question before that you can maybe explain a bit to the audience about this tournament. So guys, we addressed about play to earn, all the architecture behind that, the users, base, and so on. Really interesting panel. But I would like to understand now, also despite the recently news, how do you see the growth of the Ton ecosystem? What are the main milestones? And what do you think about the arrest of the CEO of Telegram regarding this growth?
Yeah, well, first of all, the growth of Telegram and Ton ecosystem, of course, even sparks the political discussion to some degree. And we've seen, with the arrest of Pavlo Durov, even the government stepping in and requesting France to release Pavlo Durov an explanation for their actions. So it's, even the government of Iran, I think the ones who banned Telegram on their territory stepped in and said, hey, release the man, like, what are you doing? It's like, it's okay if you want to, get rid of the application from your market, but then arresting the person that developed it is a silly way to go. Then we need to arrest the CEO of every technology company, including Apple,
right?
Google. Like, doesn't make sense. It's like, it's not a problem.
It's like that there is a company that builds knife, and like normal knives are used in the kitchen to cook, but someone take a knife and kill a person is not an issue of the company, right?
Exactly.
It's how you use the tool that make the difference.
And then the amount of people that actually abuse Telegram in the bad way is just like 0.001%. It's unsubstantial from the total amount of users. Yes, there are these people on Telegram constantly fighting them. It's like there is the protocols of actions for that too. And the thing with the arrest of Pavlo Durov, like the only reason they named for it was the lack of communication. I mean, look, you're talking to a billionaire and to the massive company. Lack of communication, it's okay. Just wait for another week. It's fine. You have a contact. Call him on the phone. I don't know. Do something about it. But arresting the man just to get him actually to be reporting to is kind of a weird way to go about it, right? But no, Pavlo Durov at this point been released. He is free at the territory of France. There is no official information yet until when he is restricted from leaving France, but he has access to all his devices, internet. He's not on the house arrest. He just has to report to the police twice a week. And he has to enjoy a French baguette for a little time here and there and French wine.
So for all the Ton supporters and users, no worries, Durov is fine.
Pavlo Durov is a free man, but within the country of France
he's eating baguette and croissant in Paris or whatever, somewhere
really
in France.
Continues working. Well, he's an active CEO of the company, but even without him, there is the protocols of actions and everything. So the team knows how to operate on its own, even without Pavlo Durov. It was another thing because people didn't know how to react at first. And I joined the space with Mario Nafal and Andrew Tate and a bunch of other people, and I said, hey guys, it's important right now to understand not to panic, because we have a protocol of actions for those type of scenarios. We knew that will eventually happen, that the governments will start to pay attention and be upset about one thing or another, Telegram and so on.
That's more an issue about fake news, right? In my opinion, that you don't know what happens, especially like media. Like maybe on X you can find better news. In my opinion, on X you can find like more truth about those topics than
there
media.
There has been very few articles from the side of French media covering what actually happened. They've been just dropping, noisy headlines. Oh, Pavel Durov arrested. Or the CEO of Telegram and founder of Twitter originally.
Right.
Like they did not provide any clarity. And then, I went on the space, massive space, with thousands of people listening live, and I said, hey guys, if you're working in the media right now, in the French media, stop doing what you're told. Do what's right for humanity, because we're here fighting for the freedom of speech. After that, two medias in French language, wrote in articles about the digital resistance and everything's happening. Like they listen to
censorship.
Me. I don't know if they got fired. I hope they did not. But what I'm saying is that people listen, even though it's a small number. But they still did.
But there are support,
because it's important for humanity at scale. We have very little privacy in this world, and Telegram is helping you to actually have the right for private conversations online and not to be selling your data. It's completely okay if you wish so.
That's
you can
another
participate.
value proposition against Meta and
Yeah, because you know that Mark Zuckerberg officially
admitted
that
is 2020, right?
That they suppressed Donald Trump, their campaign, that they've been doing illegal things quite literally by the constitution of the country they operate in. I don't see him arrested. I don't see any fines. Like, what's happening here? And then Pavel Durov is getting arrested because he doesn't sell your privacy, because he doesn't sell your data. It's like, you see the bureaucracy involved, right? I don't have to speak too much on that.
Yeah,
it's just so obvious at this point.
I completely agree, though. Yeah, completely agree. Miki, what is your take about that?
Actually, I think that we saw it even here in Europe, like with all the UK stuff when they just hit Europe.
They arrested the guy.
Meta did the work. Meta was crazy.
By the way, you know what's happened also? The Telegram expanded like 4% in growth, like within a couple days in France after Pavel Durov arrest. So people went downloading Telegram and they're like, holy shit, this is a secure messaging app?
You know?
Like 4% growth in 2 days. Let's go. That's the power.
That's the result that we needed.
You tried to harm Telegram, the Telegram growing even more because people are like, holy shit, it's a good technology.
And it's the first messaging app in the world right now, right? Telegram is the first. By users, or it's the second?
Maybe WeChat.
No, Telegram, I think the 6th most downloaded and the 6th most used application in the world. If
the 6th, guys. Yeah. Telegram is the 6th most used and downloaded application in the world. Crazy.
It's crazy numbers, and it's only projected to grow. I think there has been a public presentation done at the Gateway conference last year, where throughout the next 5 years, they projected to overthrow 1.5 billion monthly active users. So it's an insane projection of growth, and you can see that it's constantly growing.
But you already have more than 1 billion users, right?
Well, yes, Telegram has more than 1 billion. If we speak of the monthly active users, the last data reported was 950 million plus of monthly active users. And right now it's closer to 1 billion. It's like with every day it's expanding, it's growing more and more.
I can just add that 4% that we saw in growth in France, it means that when traditional media are speaking shit about projects like this one, it's just
like
good
marketing.
Conversion
rate,
you know, it's good marketing.
We just need more clickbait.
Any marketing is marketing in the end of the day.
That's the marketing, right? Yeah.
It's been the largest marketing campaign for Ton and Telegram ever conducted, completely for free. So thank you, the government of France. Now just release Pavel Durov, let the man enjoy his freedom and travel to any country, and we're good.
Amazing, man.
Great marketing campaign. People yet to discover.
And take into consideration, please try just to go on X and put some hashtag like Pavel Durov or Telegram right now. You will see the number of user-generated content is crazy. You know, they made a massive campaign from zero.
Oh yeah, and I mean the largest, social media guys in the world, like all been talking about it and showing support for Pavel Durov. Like Elon Musk posted free Pavel, Andrew Tate posted free Pavel. Alex Jones joined the discussion, Kim.com.
It's a movement, man. It's a movement of censorship.
The people have been very vocal about that, and I think that's what also showed France that, hey, you're messing with the wrong person, because they kind of try the same approach as with many other people, even with Donald Trump, where they put all the list of those allegations against the person, but here the world said, well, that's not true. Pavel Durov has a very deep sense of morals. He is the man that he is, and that's complete bullshit, and the world been screaming at France for that. So the France was like, okay, well, we see. The man is free, but please stay in France.
That's a proof that people care about censorship, right?
Yeah, but you see, some people, they're a little bit more controversial because they have
They're
some
scary,
background stories, you know,
bias.
stuff. But
Yeah.
Pablo Durov, it's just an awesome man that is truly the man of people that's doing the best for humanity, and the world knows about it.
Yeah.
So when they try to press the bullshit allegations on the man like that, it doesn't work.
He's also a good example because I know that he follows like an healthy life, you know, as we can so that's also like a good example
Yeah,
to
but
follow.
I think that everybody saw at least one video from Pavel Durov. Like, the guy
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about
Yeah.
nothing. He just wants to develop stuff, so
Yeah.
it's crazy.
The thing is, he's not even attending interviews or a bunch of panels. He like spoke twice in the last, I don't know, 5 years or something. Like, that's it. He doesn't care for media like Elon Musk does. Elon Musk loves attention. Pablo Durov doesn't care for attention. He knows he have it if he needs to. And he went to do an important announcement about tone and deep integration and everything when it already was done. It's already was working. It's not that it's yet to come. He shared what's already here to present it, and then did the interview with Tucker Carlson, which also played into his favor right now because people went through this background story, understanding what's happening here, you know, his morals, his values, what Telegram stands for, what is the digital resistance, and why is it so
really amazing.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw all the pics with the ghost movements on Twitter. That was amazing. Okay, I think that we arrived at the end of this amazing panel. Before that, Miki, can you explain of this tournament?
Yeah, actually, this is an activity that we are running on our airdrop arcade. So just going back to what we were saying before about Galaxy, Ziali, and the logical consequence that are the mini apps, we also have developed something that is our airdrop arcade, fully on Web3. So you can interact directly with the Bybit Web3 wallet. Web3 Arcade is basically a place on Bybit where you can go and start farming airdrops, just making some social tasks and on-chain tasks, because of course we're also monitoring that ones. And yeah, you can earn some free tokens, and right now we have a competition just on Ton, on the Ton ecosystem. So yeah, just to put another time on the table how much Ton is collaborating with us, so how much Ton is working in general. And we have this campaign that is running, but it's just one of the latest one, because we currently just ran another one, like I think 1 month ago. And if I can add something over than this, is that tonight, as you probably know, guys, we will have our Bybit party. If you are still not subscribed at our Bybit party, please just go to our stand, request our Bybit card, and have the free access for the party. And yeah, thank you so much for hosting us today, guys. It was really amazing, and it was a pleasure have this panel with my bro Viktor, so I'm really happy for this.
Yeah, thank you for having us, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all the photos. Thank you. Start using Ton and Telegram today.
Let's go. See you tonight at Bybit Party, guys.
Yes.
Don't miss it
Let's
out.
go.
Wonderful.
go.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
guys.
guys.
Thank you for having us.